Ladies and gentlemen, this debate tonight, we focus on two parts. Is Arvind Kejriwal changing his position on the VIP culture, Lal Batti culture, succumbing to it himself or not? And of course, the bigger issue is that of a stunt today politics. On our debate this evening, Deepak Amin of the Congress Party making his debut on the Newshour. Deepak Amin, good evening, welcome. Look forward to seeing more of you on the Newshour. That's a fresh face from the Congress Party this evening. And Saba Naqvi, political editor of The Outlook, is joined by Sankarshan Thakur, Roving Editor of the Telegraph newspaper of Kolkata. Gaurav Bhatia, National President of the legal wing of the Samajwadi Party. Rahul Narvekar with me in the studio. Also from the Aam Aadmi Party is Professor Kamal Mitra Chenoy. The BJP is not going unrepresented. We have Jaynarayan Vyas joining us in a minute. Neither is the Aam Aadmi Party. Already Kamal Mitra Chenoy is here and Medha Patkar will be joining us in some time. And on record, I'd like to say we do send them invitations still. Now the question is very simple. Kamal Mitra Chenoy, what do you think of Arvind Kejriwal flying by a private jet? For someone who has been making a virtue of the issue of austerity. No. You see, the question is the issue of austerity, right? Lifestyle, being frugal, no Lal Batti culture, no VVIP culture, traveling by a private jet. It doesn't quite fall in line, does it?
It does, because you can't fall in line with on the railway tracks or on the road. So if you have to travel a distance, you have to fly on a VIP, what you call VIP culture. But the main question is, who paid for that? Did Arvind Kejriwal pay his bit for that flight? If he did, then there's no argument.
The fact that he didn't pay says it all. That means you're accepting favors from the people who paid for it. And that's exactly what you stood against all these days.
But I don't think there is any record of Aam Aadmi.
So did the flight come free?
Settling for favors from anyone.
No, that my question to you is...
setting for it. If the point, Arnab, you are making that the AAP has sold out.
No, I'm not even saying that. No, you didn't. No, 1 second. No, Kamal Mitra Chenoy, what did I say in the beginning? I said, Dr. Chenoy, that the question is not really of whether or not Arvind Kejriwal can choose to start traveling by private jets. Of course he can. In this case, I am told it's a damn good private jet. It's the kind of jet that most business tycoons enjoy on intercontinental flights.
And I'm sure
the Richard Bransons of the world travel on these kind of jets. This is I'm sure Arvind Kejriwal would travel in record time in tremendous comfort. That's not the question. Is this the same Arvind Kejriwal who said, what is the need for a beacon light? Is this the same Arvind Kejriwal who, while going for another media event a year and a half back, said, I will not even accept a 5-star room? Is this the same Arvind Kejriwal who said, I will travel, but I will travel by economy. I will not even take a business class ticket? You see, that is the point I'm asking. It is an issue of personal choice I don't get into.
If one goes... No, but Arnab, if one is going by a non-general flight, one can't go by a flight saying that we will not travel by air or we will travel by some other flight. So if you can show that Arvind Kejriwal took a flight, a so-called luxury flight according to you, when he had other options, then there's a point.
But the Aam Aadmi Party also, the Aam Aadmi who you represent does not have other options. When the Aam Aadmi does not get a commercial flight, the Aam Aadmi does not say, get me the closest Beechcraft super luxury airline so that I can dash at about 1.5 lakh rupees every 20 minutes. And Arvind Kejriwal, I'm sure, would not have approved of it in other circumstances. Deepak Amin, the whole day the Congress Party has been defending Arvind Kejriwal. Are you coming out in his defense? Yes, Mr. Amin. Are you defending him?
Absolutely not, Arnab. This is the same Arvind Kejriwal who swore that he did not want to enter politics. This is the same Arvind Kejriwal who swore on his children that he wouldn't take the support of any party to form the government. This is the same Arvind Kejriwal who swore that within 15 days he'll have the Jan Lokpal bill. This is the same Arvind Kejriwal who said there'll be no houses that he will ask for when he asked for a 9,000 square feet office house in Bhagwan Das Marg. This is the same Arvind Kejriwal who said there'll be no Lal Battis. So, where is the surprise here?
Well, that's why there is a surprise, isn't it? Because 7 hours back he was saying that others travel by private jets. No, one minute. I'll get Medha Patkar.
Arnab, all of the things I said, he has violated them.
Precisely, the question therefore is not about who paid for it.
He has not violated all the things you said, and the Congress party goes from scam to scam and tries to divert attention by going at
the question, Dr. Kamal Mitra Chenoy.
Answering the question.
No, the question is about empathy with the common man. I am an Aam Aadmi. I am a new kind of Indian politician. An Aam Aadmi does not travel by private. The question is
about the empathy with the common man.
So
after Delhi election results, obviously there is an empathy with the common man.
So after the Delhi election results, you see, I am only bringing public record to public attention, Dr. Kamal Mitra Chenoy. Why are you getting upset? I am talking about, see, if you don't practice what you preach, then it will be seen to be supercilious self-righteousness. You said, I don't want to live in big houses. We have a letter which showed that you wanted 2 bungalows right next to each other. 2 fairly large bungalows, let me tell you, which can accommodate thousands of common men and can give a roof over their heads. And I can ask you also, why didn't Arvind Kejriwal say to the media group, why didn't Arvind Kejriwal say to the media group, I'm sorry, I cannot make it for your event? Why didn't he say to the media group, I'm sorry, I can't make it for your event, but if you're so keen on paying for me, why don't you take the money and donate it to the Aam Aadmi, build houses for them, the kind of speeches that he made? This is, you see, I'll tell you, he said VIP culture.
Totally off track.
On the 4th.
The question is that Kejriwal said, I need 2 houses, one for myself and one for my office.
He said,
and let me tell you that our office in 41 Hanuman Road has been closed down because of threats from the BJP.
Kamal Mitra Chenoy, he wanted 2 bungalows right next to each other with very large, perfectly manicured gardens. He did not just want a house. I have a letter to prove that he wanted 2 bungalows, specific bungalows. He wanted 2 specific bungalows.
Manicured gardens.
He wanted 2 specific bungalows.
In this country is the media.
He wanted 2 specific bungalows. 2 specific bungalows. Anyway, he said on the 4th
Obviously, if he wanted to have his office
party criticizing the media. All these days they were going gaga over the media when the media was bashing all the other politicians in place.
On the 4th of January, Arvind Kejriwal said the VIP culture should be permanently abolished from this country. It was a part of British culture, and his favorite refrain was always this: Angrez chale gaye, lal batti reh gaye. We will abolish VIP culture wherever we get a chance. Let's get others into the debate. Sankarshan, and before that, let's get Medha Patkar to the debate. Medha Patkar, would you take a private jet to go to a function if you were getting late, and if the organizers were to tell you, Medha Patkar, we will give you a super luxury B200 private jet. It will be just you on the flight and you will reach on time. Would you have flown by a private jet? Have you ever flown by a private jet? I'm sure you've gone to many events.
No, never. Never, and I will never take it. I rather know that what is the no level playing field kind of situation in politics.
There you are.
That is why the people who cannot get the private jet or private chartered plane are considered as powerless. So this disparity is something we want to attack. And I'm sure Aam Aadmi Party also will not like to resort to such kind of luxuries. And the simplicity in politics doesn't mean that we will not use any equipment, any tools, any technology. We have to have a balance. I think a rational kind of understanding of what is the minimum requirement in order to not only election campaigning, where the maximum limit 70
only when Arvind Kejriwal uses a charter flight. Where was this rationality when other politicians were accused of using chartered flight, chartered helicopter?
No, I'm not sure.
Why couldn't you think of this rationalism then?
So chartered
Why
flight
couldn't you use this reasoning then?
Is something that
so you need to walk the talk, which Aam Aadmi has failed to do till date. On every issue that has been spoken, on every issue that has been promised, Aam Aadmi has not lived up to any of them.
That is not true. That's not true. That's not true. On water, power, FDI, Jan Lokpal,
on not taking government bungalows, on not taking government villas, on not taking government transport facilities. Can you come out with
No.
Enough against Aam Aadmi Party.
The question is,
the story of
Ms.
two
Patkar,
bungalows is the Cinderella story.
No,
nothing other than
Ms.
that.
Patkar, the question is very, as I said, nobody has an objection. If Arvind Kejriwal wants to travel by private jet and says, you see, the organizers are paying for it, I haven't paid for it. These are the organizers. It is fine. But you know, I remember just on January 19th, he said, I could have bought a helicopter. I can start traveling from my office to helicopters, but I don't.
Yeah.
I am an Aam Aadmi. I have a simple car. I negotiate the usual traffic. I stop at the traffic lights. What was the point he was making there, Sankarshan? The point that he was making there was the kind of style.
Arnab, if you say that he could have said that I would hire a helicopter to go to my office, I think the audience is brilliant enough to understand that we are comparing two different things. But I am not for the private jets and private charter planes.
Yeah, but it's okay. No, but it's okay. My question is on the style of it. Yes, Sankarshan, on the style of it.
Arnab, you know, the use of private helicopters and jets by politicians, especially during elections in this country, has now become a fairly routine affair. But where it brings, questions on Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is that he has been sitting in self-righteous judgment precisely on this style of political functioning.
Yes.
And he has been, not just jets and helicopters and lal battis, but the entire political class, the Aam Aadmi Party and Mr. Arvind Kejriwal have made a name for themselves essentially by lashing at this style of politics.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
When he takes a private jet, we have to question it, and it's a very legitimate question. Now, one question that needs to be answered immediately is who paid for the flight. And even if that question is answered, and I think
this flight was paid for.
Still remains
this
the moral
flight was paid for, Sankarshan.
Even if there was
this flight was paid for by the India Today group, which said that we had to get him to our function on time. So Arvind Kejriwal took a private jet paid for by a specific media group, and they told him, we want you to get you by a private jet. He agreed.
And then when it becomes convenient, the spokespersons of the Aam Aadmi Party turned around to the media and said they are paid media.
Then they say the media is paid out.
Thing in this country.
Exactly.
This is a further level of double standard.
No, this is the most supremely.
If you sit on a high stool, then you better deserve,
Arnab,
you better equip yourself to be sitting on the high stool. You better ensure that there are no warts and there are no stains.
So it can be argued. No, it can be argued that those who pay for his private jets are not sold out. Those who are not paying for his private jets are sold out. That argument can be stretched in whichever way.
It's not merely a question of payment. It's not merely a question of money.
It's not a question of money.
Arnab, it is not merely a question of who paid or not. That is, of course, a question. But another question is also of style. What style are you adopting? Now, as far as my understanding of how the Aam Aadmi Party outfitted itself was that it was a ground level party. It did not believe in using the trappings of power that the other political parties use. That it had set itself apart as a Naam Janta Aadmi Party.
One sec. Saba.
I can understand.
Saba wants to come in. Gaurav after Saba. Gaurav after Saba.
He has become a very wanted man.
Yeah, Saba.
And he needs to travel, from A to B.
Fine, but Sankarshan, what he wants to stay away from. I have been at
and
media
then he will
events.
be judged by those standards.
I have been at media events where Arvind Kejriwal would go. Right? He has come for a debate in Kolkata, which I myself hosted. This is 2 years back. Arvind Kejriwal travelled there with Kiran Bedi in a low-cost airline. Arvind Kejriwal would not take a 5-star stay. Right? Even if the media, even if we were to offer him, he would not take a 5-star stay. He would always say, I will travel low cost. Right? So the question there is of whether he's saying, okay, my time is more important, so I'll start traveling by private jets. But exactly the same argument is given by all politicians. Saba wants to come in. Gaurav, coming to you. Yes, Saba.
Every other politician.
Saba.
Arnab, I think Arvind Kejriwal should actually give an explanation to many people who support him, because this looks really bad. You've taken up a battle against crony capitalism.
Absolutely.
And so he simply cannot do this kind of thing. Either he's foolish or people will suspect his motives. Because if in the morning, and I would disagree with the nuancing of the program, I think he's entitled to go and ask Mr. Modi 16 questions. You know, just as you ask 9 questions every night, I would like to go and ask Mr. Modi or anyone 16 questions.
Of course he is entitled.
He cannot, as a leader who has inspired people.
Arnab, can I come in?
He cannot, as a leader who's inspired people, do this kind of thing. And I feel sorry that somebody at the level of Kamal Mitra Chenoy, who must be cringing, has to defend this.
I think
Arvind Kejriwal
let Kamal Mitra Chenoy speak for himself.
You know.
Kamal Mitra Chenoy, you're cringing, but you can't show it. You're cringing, but you can't show it because of
I'm not cringing,
because of your allegiance to this party.
Part of Saba's point and part of Sankarshan Thakur's point, but the thing is that if you have to go somewhere in a hurry and you take a lift on a private jet, which is not your normal form of functioning, are you betraying the basic essentials of the Aam Aadmi Party?
How is it?
Of course you are. Mr. Chenoy, I wouldn't go in a private jet.
Of course you are. And
Of course he is. As journalists, some of us would not take. You know?
Listen to this argument of yours now.
What is this?
I have never gone
I would not get onto a private jet.
That's
What is
not the
this?
point. Please do not point is that
Mr. Chenoy,
And here you have a leader.
somewhere in a hurry, so he took a lift from a jet. Now the question is, should he have done it? If he has done it, should he do it again? That is the question. But that is not the main question. We are diverting from the question asked to Modi in Gujarat and all of that.
Answer a very pointed question.
It's a complete shift of the focus of discussion.
Mr. Chenoy, answer a very pointed question. In the past, when Aam Aadmi Party put up this question to other politicians, and when they gave the same reasoning, did you accept it or did you refute it? Did the Aam Aadmi Party accept that explanation?
The questioning was not about how you travelled, but what did you do when you travelled?
No, the question is very simple. Did you accept the same explanation then?
The question is, what do you do when you travel? What do you do when you go and meet the power?
Right, Gaurav Bhatia coming to the debate. The question is very simple. I am re-emphasizing the question, and I need to move on, ladies and gentlemen, to the drama that happened in Gujarat this morning. But before that, Gaurav, the point on debate here today is very simply this: that Arvind Kejriwal has made a series of self-righteous comments about how he is the Aam Aadmi. He lives the lifestyle of Aam Aadmi. He travels like the Aam Aadmi, taking one of the world's best-known, most comfortable private jets to travel is seen to be largely, commonsensically, a complete contradiction to this image that he has been trying to portray. Right? And by the way, it is the media that caught him on this subject.
No,
he didn't. He issued the statement after the media exposed his form of travel.
By a former jet.